I don't want to talk about Morbius anymore.
And we'll never say that name ever again.
Ever again. Apart from the time we had to talk about the movie. Our ever creepy friend, Michael Morbius.
This dude is saying that and he's wearing a Dracula cape.
Yeah.
These are red flags. Plasma.
Blood/plasma, but legally we can only say plasma.
I think I just don't like Morbius that much in this show.
In the show, huh?
You kind of have all this build up to Morbius and you're like, oh, it's just Morbius.
Morbius is a motherfucker who likes to stay uphill.
Morbius. At this point, he's starting to become like a nuisance.
So you'd be like, no, what about Morbius? See what Morbius is up to. Morbius, cut that shit out.
I'm so sick of Morbius.
For the love of God, one episode without fucking Morbius.
Jared Leto as Morbius.
I liked him in Requiem for a Dream and Dallas Buyers Club, and he can fuck himself and everything else. I just want to be done with Morbius for a little bit.
Morbius.
Hey there, spider lovers, and welcome to That 90s Spider-Man Show, which is a podcast where we talk about Spider-Man the animated series. But today we're not talking about Spider-Man the animated series. Dear God, I wish we were talking about Spider-Man the animated series. Instead, we're talking about its worst villain brought to... well, I wouldn't say life. Anyway. It's Morbius, everybody. We did it. You can stop asking now.
Yeah, it's not a recommend.
It's a hard not recommend. We could probably end the episode there. Anyway, I'm one of your hosts this evening. My name is Henry.
And I am Jack.
And as you can tell, we're super excited to be here.
Yeah, listener retention. You know, you gotta catch them in the first 30 seconds.
Well, it's been like 45 now. So.
But maybe there's something with the Morbius thing where people are enjoying watching other people suffer by watching it, you know?
There are better movies in which watch someone else suffer.
Better
movies with Jared Leto in you can watch people suffer.
Yeah, because I'm sure that you know... Well, actually, you might not know because you're not on Twitter anymore.
Yeah.
The whole Morbius posting, I guess.
Yeah. My friend tried to show me that, and there was a point where I was like, maybe I should look this up for the podcast. Let me get it to research this and understand what's going on in the world. And then 10 seconds later, I was like, oh, I can just do anything else.
Yeah.
I could do anything else I wanted.
Yeah. It's a weird thing because I at first I wasn't sure about all those Morbius jokes because I was I was already tired of it really quickly, but then I was like, wait, I should be happy. Everyone is on my side. For once, the viewers, just the audience, the Marvel people, they all just went, ha, Morbius. At the same time, and there's something kind of beautiful about that.
I mean, I understand your sentiment, but honestly, when I think about Morbius and everything related to Morbius, I try as hard as I might, there is no joy to be found in any of it.
Yeah, that's the thing with this movie, is that it's kind of we're talking about Morbius today. Did we say that? The movie? Yeah, Morbius, the movie?
Morbius 3000 or whatever.
And I think that's the thing is that it's a very nothing movie, but in a way that's good, because while it was not a good... He's shaking his head at me. While it's not a good movie, it does disappear fast. I do feel like the brain cells that were housing my memories of the movie are slowly disintegrating and, being washed away like tears in rain.
I don't have enough the energy to laugh at that.
Okay, well, that's the end of this podcast. We've got another ending for you.
I mean, I love or hate watches the next guy, but my God, I don't know if you can tell, for dear listener, but I'm coming to this very low energy. But no matter how dead inside I feel, there's more life for me than any part of this movie.
Okay, I got something that might perk you up. All right. I was thinking, how do we talk about Morbius?
Oh, I have a way I'm going to talk about Morbius, so don't worry about that.
Okay, I'm gonna try and not talk about Morbius.
Oh, I'm going to talk directly about Morbius.
Great
detail.
Right, you're going to go through every line of dialogue in the script?
I'm going to do a dramatic reading of Sony's Morbius.
first up, we talked about the trailer way back, and then I don't think either of us like watched any more trailers or read anything about it.
I did anything else with my life that I could have done.
And that was quite a while ago because it got delayed so much. I think we were making jokes about it getting delayed at the time, and then like it didn't come out for like another 2 years.
A pandemic basically came.
Yeah.
Took over the world.
And then they were like, man, maybe we shouldn't do this one about like infectious disease right now.
Okay, we'll get to the fucking Morbius disease when we get to that, because...
Okay, just going through our trailer convo, that's where we talked about the idea of Calamity Jared.
Yeah.
Which is now, been fully unleashed. Yeah. Very much like the Calamity Ganon fight in Breath of the Wild. It was kind of quite easy. It went down pretty...
You think it's going to be a lot more challenging and complex than it is.
Well, just like you think it's going to have a greater effect. You're like, oh shit, Calamity Jared's out. Oh.
I feel nothing.
Well, no. I mean,
I'm telling you, I feel nothing.
Yeah, I know. And I'm saying I was always going to feel nothing,
Yeah.
In the best of worlds. What I mean to say is that, like, this kind of came out of Sony Castle, I guess. Yeah. Now, but it was temporarily known as Morbius Mansion. And it just sort of like
Morbius house.
Walked around in the the empty fields of early 2022, and then just got taken down by like a redditor on the back of a horse.
Yeah.
I mean... who but instead of like shooting like a light arrow, they tweeted it's Morbin time.
Yeah.
And
Morbius the movie cannot withstand the power of it's Morbin time.
Mm-hmm. We also came up with the hashtag veto that Leto, which I think
we had so much joy back then.
Yeah. Well, I think we could get more people on that hashtag now.
Yeah, for sure.
I feel like the tide is turning. There was a point where like I feel like people were more forgiving of Jared Leto, and then when Morbius came out, which I think as a movie is just exactly what we thought it would be. I
actually was disappointed by Morbius.
What were you wanting from it?
I was hoping for at least Venom.
You wanted Venom?
I wanted at least Venom 2, where I was like trying to do something.
Oh no, you mean you wanted it like those movies? I thought you meant you wanted a guest star from Venom, and that would have saved it.
No, nothing could have saved it.
I was like, did you have you?
We had one cameo in it, almost somehow made the movie like unwatchable.
Henry hasn't drank water in like 2 weeks, and he's just delirious. She's saying, but Morbius would have been good if Venom was in it.
Yeah, but let's hold him in my room, just like jars of piss, just trying to figure out.
Although this hypothetical you is just like one of those people who writes reviews on IMDb.
I mean, like, they probably would have done a better job with the script.
Yeah, I was one of those people once. Well, briefly. I think I wrote a very long review for Spider-Man 3, and I remember like I didn't finish it, and I was like booted off the family computer or something.
Yeah.
I had to abandon it because it was like early internet, I guess, so there wasn't like a save draft.
No, it was just like shit out of luck, kid.
I was like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have written like 2,000 words about
Or maybe you should
Sandman.
have written it on like Word.
Yeah.
Should have taken it more seriously.
Yeah. Anyway.
It's foolish.
I'm glad though.
Since we're coming up to 10-minute mark of this recording, what might be fun is like, quickly as you can, explain why you wouldn't recommend this movie, assuming you're not going to recommend it, because I'm not going to recommend it.
I mean, I can do that by continuing, which is that you said you called the Sony universe a, quote, terminally ill cash cow. And that has only become more true, right? With this. I think we'll get into like the specifics of it later.
Oh, yeah, we will.
But
yeah, we fucking will.
Going in with the lowest of expectations possible, it's still worse than that. There are some fun, like, wooden line reads. Like, I think there's certain people, and I know one of them in real life, who had a lot of fun with this movie just from how bad it was, like, in terms of the dialogue and how people are saying the dialogue.
But Oscar-winning actor Jared Leto.
There's not much there, though. Matt Smith.
We'll get to Matt Smith.
Yeah, we'll get to Matt Smith, but, like, there's a point when he's like dancing and
he's
and
enjoying himself. I'm glad somebody.
Yeah, he's having a good time, and I'm that was something to look at.
Yeah.
But I would say in general, the movie is a very nothing movie that like did not like make me feel anything. And then they did a post-credit scene which made me want to, I don't know.
I mean, they gave us 2 post-credit scenes. They kind of like
Wasn't
the first one like him like getting out of jail, and the second one is him meeting up with Michael Morbius.
Oh, it's like a whole story. Let's just get into that later because I feel like that's
the whole thing.
Anyway, I tell you what, I've got some. I feel like I've got some overarching points I can say about the movie.
Okay.
Without going into sort of detail, is that I think I probably made this metaphor a lot, but the Arrested Development dead dove.
Yeah.
In the bag, in the fridge, and then he looks in it.
Just looks inside.
And says...
Yeah, I don't know what I expected.
Yeah. And it is kind of that. It's like a dead dove bag. On it is like written Morbius. And then...
Do you know what it's like? It's a dead dove bag, you look inside, and not only is there a dead dove in there, but for some reason it's half eaten.
Yeah, because it's also like...
It actually wasn't expected it to be.
Yeah, but then also with the dead dove thing, like... Maybe Jason Bateman finding the dead dove was a learning experience of some sort. Like maybe he's not going to look in a bag that says that. But I don't think there's a learning moment with
definitely
Morbius.
Look in the bag again.
Yeah,
We're still looking in the bag.
Yeah, we're always looking in the dead dove bag.
We're always like, why is there a dead dove in this dead dove bag?
But the thing is, because these things are so popular now that like. But that you can start scrounging around the bottom of the dead dove bag and you pull out a Morbius and you're like, oh shit, there's a Morbius here? Gross. I need to go wash my hands.
Yeah, it's like the dead dove was in there the whole time, but because it's a dead dove, it starts to rot. And we keep going back expecting something that's not like a rotting dead dove, and each time it smells worse and it's decomposing more and more. And when we come back to this for Craven, we'll be like, yeah, we probably should have thrown this away.
I'm not watching Craven.
You know we're going to have to do it.
I saw the thing the other day about how he's going to be like a...
Oh, did they like just steal my pitch from my brain?
Yeah. Yeah, he's gonna... I mean, there was kind of a maybe misleading headline about it where someone like... when they like ask an actor about something they clearly can't talk about and he gives a few facts and then one of those random facts becomes the headline. And the headline was like, Aaron Taylor Johnson says Craven will be an animal lover, with a moral code or something. Like it was just like some idea of him being like... Kind of what you were talking about ages back, about him being sort of the anti-hero who's maybe his one crime was that he hates a corporation that's punching penguins.
Yeah.
That's
my screenplay idea that I can't use now.
Yeah. I mean,
fucking Sony took it from me.
Yeah, there's gonna be like some evil like corporation that's like giving
animals like
swirlies.
Yeah,
and then
someone's trying to get like an anteater in a toilet.
Hey, look! I can give this giraffe a swirly from outside the bathroom.
Get in him.
And then like Craven comes in and punches them, and then you're like,
"Stop swallowing the giraffe!"
And then I guess at some point he's gonna do the thing that Venom does in that post-credit scene of whatever movie, where he like points at like Tom Holland on the TV and goes, "That guy."
Oh,
and then you go, what?
Yeah.
But I think, Craven's gonna see Tom Holland on the TV and then go, "Whoa!"
Is he Scooby-Doo now?
Yeah, he's one with the animals. Craven, I have no fucking clue with that, but I think I love that the difference is that I love Craven, and I've never cared that much about Morbius in the comics.
Has anyone ever cared about Morbius in any context?
I think I went to bat for him in some of our early episodes of just being like, yeah, he's fine in the comics and like people like him or whatever, but I'm not even sure. I like Morbius coming up in the story, but usually when he's like a tertiary character, like...
I can't have like a whole plot about Morbius.
Yeah, like there'll be some Spider-Man storylines where it's like Peter's working at Horizon Labs for a while, and for like a really long time, there's a scientist who works alone and no one ever sees him, and it's a mystery of who it is because that person doesn't want to see anyone, and it turns out it's Morbius, and it's like, oh, okay, that's a good reveal in terms of like, he's a scientist and maybe he's doing some crazy stuff, but there's let's keep this on the down low because he's a vampire man.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's how you bring him in. And then the issue of that, he's not the villain of that. Then he's fighting like fucking Hobgoblin or some shit.
Yeah.
And then Morbius is also there.
He's like, oh look, there's a vampire somewhere off in the distance. And man, like, if this is if that's like a movie situation, I just want to zoom out and like watch the movie that I should have been watching instead of watching Morbius. There's like a fucking Spider-Man fighting Hobgoblin movie somewhere. Hobgoblin. Someone fighting fighting someone else in the movie, and Morbius is in the background. But we've like zoomed into Morbius and whatever he's doing, and this amazing fight is going on behind us. And I'm like, let's just zoom out and we see that movie instead. But
yeah, we're taking a stop on the road trip to the fireworks factory to like go to Morbius Mansion.
The tire fire factory.
Well, we're going down the creaky, like rocky mountain path to get to Morbius Mansion.
It's like a fucking dirt path through like a fertilizer field.
Yeah, there's an old man there going, "It's got a death curse."
I wish it had a fucking death curse.
I think the other thing that is really apparent in this movie is like they're going like hard into this, like it's almost like the Sony Pictures that was around in like the early 2000s has been in hibernation, and then with the success of these Venom movies, it's kind of come up. You know, Avi Arad is Ganondorf at the end of Twilight Princess being like, actually, I was here the whole time.
Yeah, we know Gary Arad.
And
we know you were here.
Avi Arad, by the way, you coward. I'm going to call you a coward.
You're going to call out Avi Arad on this podcast. You're going to challenge him to a duel.
Look how big his name was in No Way Home, right?
What a fucking punk move.
When that movie ends and they're like, they know they got a hit on their hands, and then it's like Avi Arad from the visionary mind of Avi.
He like pushes to the front of the crowd, like, no, this is all me, guys. This is all me.
I can't remember what the actual line was, but his name was so fucking big.
It
and
was
I
like
remember
the movie credit, Spider-Man No Way Home, and like Avi Arad below it in just as big letters.
Yeah.
Guys, we're here for Avi Arad, guys.
And then when Morbius ends, it's like, Avi
Arad. Oh shit. Was I in this movie? No one told me I was in this movie.
Hey, I didn't know those guys were making that Morbius movie.
It's just like a Simpsons meme, he just like fades into the hedges.
Yeah.
I wasn't in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you would not recommend watching Morbius.
No, but the what I'm saying is, like, we're going back to these early 2000s. Now it's like, you know, well, for a brief time at least, back in action in Morbius fashion. But like, it does kind of feel like a movie that is, you know, like Dementia.
Yeah, I'm aware of Dementia. Yes.
Yeah, you know, like not the nice. Well, I guess there's not many.
Oh yeah,
nice
the good part of having dementia.
But there's, you know, someone's kind of lost the reverie of the past, and they might be remembering like a good thing, or they might be pleasantly like happy, and you're like, you know, well, it's not great that that's happening, but
I guess we won't wake up not to show them worlds burning.
But then there's the bad side where they might relive like something traumatic or like get confused or whatever. And I feel like watching this movie was like having some kind of stress dream about like high school, or like having dementia and reliving, you know, 2003 over and over again.
I feel like Venom was reliving 2003.
But that's why
sub Venom.
It's sub Venom, but like it feels like the same sort of tone, right? Of like this kind of nothing has changed in superhero movies since then, you know. And it's not like superhero movies have become like high art or anything, but like there were a couple of strides made, and then this one is just like, no, let's go back to the primordial ooze from whence we came.
I mean, I get you, but I also don't agree because, well, for one thing, like, if you look at 2003, you turn on a PS2, whatever game is you're playing on the PS2 look better than this fucking movie. One.
Right.
And, like, we've had, like, in 1998, we've had, like, Blade. This is between Spider-Man 1 and 2. We knew how to make superhero movies by this point. You know?
Yeah, but there was still like, it was still very rare, right? Like there wasn't many.
There weren't many, but like
they were all terrible, or they were like Spider-Man movies, or they were X-Men 2 or something. Like,
but even if they were terrible, like I'd rather watch Daredevil again than watch this movie.
I think Daredevil is probably more
watchable.
I mean, yeah, but like that's not like it's still not watchable.
It's got like something approaching a plot.
It's more campy. Like, I feel like you could laugh at Daredevil more. Like, if you were with a bunch of friends drinking or something, and then you were like laughing at the scene where they do the weird dance fight in the playground.
Yeah.
Which is one of the most awkward things
It's
I've
fucking
ever
insane.
seen. I love it though.
It's so great.
But yeah, there's that kind of stuff, and there's not like really much of that in here.
No, there's
I was
no
so
fun.
confused as well, and then I realized, oh yeah, that's the other thing. I realized as I was watching it, I was like, why am I confused? But also everything is really simple at the same time.
Yeah, that's a question I had. I think the thing with Morbius, and like, first of all, just to put it out there, it's weirdly short. It's an hour and like 40 minutes. And I kind of came out of it feeling like that movie could have been 20 minutes longer and they could have explained anything that was going on.
It feels like they cut out every other scene.
Yeah.
And it was like a 2-hour 10 movie that was fucking boring as shit, but made a bit more sense. Yeah. And then they went, you know what? Let's
have this be fun and breezy.
Yeah, exactly. Let's just cut some of this out. And then they just like chop. And then all the bits they took out were like, I guess, the breathing room for stupid ideas. So instead I was just like constantly like, wait, oh, so why is he doing that? And it, or like fucking, what's his name? You know, the mentor figure.
I forgot his stupid fucking name.
Yeah, I'm not expecting you to remember his name, but like the actor name, he's in
something.
Is he
in
called
Bear Things?
Is he called Jared?
He might be called Jared.
Wait,
you want production notes, guys? So I'm putting this down to you. This is your time to shine. But yeah, like, the problem I have with this runtime of this movie is that, like you said, they're trying to streamline things, but it's like being on like a private jet, and then like someone goes like, we gotta like get there faster, we gotta get rid of weight, you know, and then they're airborne, and someone else like, so how did you get rid of all that weight? And this person kind of says, yo, I got rid of those two guys in uniform in the front of the plane. And then they go like, yeah, like, we're flying so fast, right, guys?
Yeah.
And they realize, oh, we threw up both the pilots.
But we're two passengers in the back, and then we like look out the window of the plane and see it says like, we always crash airlines.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh fuck, why did we get on this plane?
Yeah.
They told us.
9/11 Airlines.
Every time we do a 9/11.
God. None of these pilots actually like finish the training, so they don't know how to land the plane. They're just gonna flood into the nearest set of double buildings.
Jared Harris, who I think should from now on be called like Jared the Good, maybe, because he's like the only good Jared I can think of.
I think Jared like the ignorant, because he could have not been in this movie.
Yeah, he's I think he's a British actor.
He makes as much sense as an antagonist as Matt Smith makes in this movie.
Antagonist? He's not an antagonist, is he?
So, I mean, Jared Leto, yes, he is.
Oh right, yeah, too evil.
Yeah.
yeah, he's British. I think he comes from that British tradition, like Gary Oldman, where they're kind of
Brian
like
Cox, or...
they're very good, subtle actors, but they like kind of don't give a fuck what they're in sometimes.
They will be in your movie.
Yeah, and they'll just turn up in like fucking. I was trying to think that I was like, actually, does Gary Oldman? And then my brain just went RoboCop remake. And I'm like,
was he in that?
I feel like he was, unless that was Bryan Cranston.
Bryan Cranston is also not above this.
Yeah, no, Gary Oldman's in RoboCop 2014. Which I'm still never going to watch. That's the worst of the remakes in terms of just concept.
Yeah.
I'd rather watch a remake of Morbius.
I'd rather watch a remake of Starship Troopers. Well, they completely just did not get the nuance of Starship Troopers.
Yeah, the author.
Yeah.
So, hey guys, I was trying to say fascism was good.
Guys, what are you doing? You're making it sound like fascism's bad. We want more wars.
The other thing as well we got, like, that's still fascinating to me is the title card drop in association.
It actually kind of looks cool, the title card, which is annoying.
What, in association with Marvel?
No, like the actual like title drop with the weird colours and shit.
But like going with the Marvel thing, I mean, like first, like when the Marvel logo comes up in association with Marvel, we kind of know
that's
that.
That's a Ghislaine Maxwell move of Sony. It's like Sony's Jeffrey Epstein is like implicating like Marvel in this as well. Like, you're a part of this.
Wait, what?
So you have like this horrible atrocity, and then here's Marvel on the side who's kind of like enabling it.
Oh, so it's like Kevin Feige is in a photo with Ghislaine Maxwell, and everyone's like,
Yeah.
But we know you might have just taken a photo with them at a party, so you might not have known who it was. They said, "Hey, can I take a photo?"
But like your brush is tarred right away.
Yeah, you didn't know they were going to post it online.
Yeah. Now Marvel's been implicated in this big Sony movie about Morbius.
The in association thing, I don't think there's a better way of putting it, but at the same time, it's also like, don't mind that guy in the corner who looks exactly like Tommy Lee Jones. He's my parole officer.
Yeah.
You know, there's they're coming in as a guardian. You know, it's like, well, these guys, we're not sure if they can like make their own decisions, but in this case, I guess like the guardian just like didn't show up to parents' evening.
It's like this kid's just unleashed, I guess. But yeah. Do we have any production notes on Morbius?
Oh yeah, I've.
Because you might as well just like fill your boot before I just go straight into the depravity of this. Because
I still have more stuff to bring up because like we go back to our trailer conversation.
Yeah.
Right. You said, and I quote, "How could this possibly make money?" And then I kind of fought back, and I was like, "No, it'll make money because the world is garbage." That was the world we were living in back then as well.
Yeah.
Where I feel like on this podcast, you know, you'd be like, people won't see the bad thing, you know, the good thing might become good and stuff like that. And then I'm being cynical, being like, no, the garbage thing will make more money, the good thing will become bad, all this stuff. And then you were like more optimistic. And then now
I did like the world changed and I watched like more of these movies and I realized how like deluded my worldview was.
Yeah, and now I'm kind of like almost like the reactionary part of me just makes me want to be more positive, you know, like if
somebody is.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to be like really depressed, I'm like, oh, I guess I'm this guy now. I'm the crazy positive one.
Okay.
And you're the one who sees things as they really are.
Yeah.
With your wizard eyes.
I really hope you enjoy it because I'm not gonna become optimistic about these in a long time.
I said it would make money, but not much, not enough for a sequel. And then you said at most you expect it to break even, but probably not. And we also predicted a Sinister Six with Morbius in it. And that's what we said. That was a prediction, which I think I said, and then that's when Vito that Leto came through. And I think we need to keep that going because we cannot have Morbius in the Sinister Six. I don't want to be one of those people like starting a movement against something Disney is doing because that's insane and a waste of time. But like, if you're going to direct at anyone, do it Jared Leto because that guy's fucking running a cult or some shit.
What the fuck he's doing? Yeah, this is like fucking like Sinister Gate. Yeah.
The way this movie ends, like, which again we'll get into later, like they do imply something. So I think that's still a possibility, which is like, it's funny because it's like you're almost seeing Sony fighting to do the worst thing. And every time something changes, so you're like, oh wait, but they did the multiverse thing, No Way Home, and that was kind of Sinister Six. So maybe that's Sony getting their, you know, the Sinister Six they wanted to do with their characters. And then, you know, it's going to change. And then it's like, well, actually, no, they're going to hard turn to do their thing again, but in the stupidest way.
It's a gambling metaphor either way, and I can't decide if it's a gambling metaphor with respect to Uncut Gems or a gambling metaphor with respect to that one like sketch from the character with Tim Robinson where he's in the casino and he like loses all his money, then gets it back, and he's like, "Well, bet it out on black," and loses it right away again. Because it kind of feels like Sony on some level are aware they're just taking a bath on all of these movies. Well, and they're just like gambling harder and harder.
But Venom's been successful, and
that's what I mean. They've won their $1,000 back. And they've gambled it right away again.
Yeah, but then they won it back again with Venom 2.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think, you know what? That's it. Is because I think they're misunderstanding how big Venom is, like as a character.
Yeah, they banked it all on Venom, and they don't realize that like everything else they have is trash.
And also like Venom is like, there's part of me that thinks like any level of quality Venom would have done well, because I think Venom is a pretty strong concept as long as you do some basic stuff about him correctly, you know, and you don't do what they did with Topher Grace. You keep the fans medium happy, and then I guess there's a part of the human psyche that just likes comedy routines with gloop monsters.
I think that's what Freud said in that book one time, right?
Yeah, but
the gloop monster represents your mother. You want to have sex with the gloop monster. It's called the Oedipal complex.
I've got 3 categories for you here. Do you want a movie fact about the Morbius movie, or do you want a potential title for this episode, or do you want a Morbius themed joke?
What I really want right now is to go back to a time where Morbius didn't exist and live in that time until the rest of my days.
Unfortunately, all 3 of those categories are related to Morbius, so
Can I die instead?
no. You're the hostage of this podcast right now.
Yeah, I am.
You
want to start like killing your hostages? Because
I'm saving you. I'm saving you from the Morbius movie.
That was too late for that. Anyway, why don't you start with a Morbius themed joke? Because maybe I need to laugh some more, and then I'll be ready to dive in.
What did Donald Trump blame for the poor for the poor reviews and box office of Morbius?
Pray tell what?
The liberal Morbia. Wait, second part.
There's more.
Because they have more bias.
What about now? I wish that the toilet would flush outside.
How does Michael?
There's more.
How does Michael Morbius communicate with passing ships?
Morb code.
Morb code. Yeah, there you go. Okay,
that's cleverer than anything else that happens in this movie.
I can give you some titles.
I have a title in mind.
Okay, what was it?
Well, it's gonna be related to what I'm gonna go into next. But
okay, but fine. I'll do my titles, then we'll jump in that way. My Dinner with Morbius.
I don't have dinner with Morbius.
Striking while the morb is hot. Mostly because this episode is like 6 months later than it needs to be.
Yeah, so it's about as warm as Morbius is.
Mighty Morbin Plasma Rangers.
It's kind of clever, but this movie does not deserve a title that clever. I'm going to be honest with you.
The Morb You Know. Ugh. Sony Warriors Age of Calamity Jared.
Too clever.
Multiverse of Morbius. Or Multiverse of Morbness.
Morbiverse of Madness.
Mo Morbius, Mo Problems.
Definitely Mo Problems.
So it comes to this, a Morbius review.
That's my favourite so far.
Mortal Kombat.
I like that one.
Finally.
So far, I'm like, so it's come to this, a Morbius review. But
I think the title of this review is going to be Morbius in lowercase.
With like no punctuation, no grammar.
Or maybe one full stop.
Yeah. It makes it sound kind of like new agey, like it's gone through a rebrand or something.
Yeah. Oh, did you see there was this is another thing that will ruin the Morbius jokes for you. And I think it's the final nail in the coffin.
Oh, in my coffin.
Yeah. There was a point where, like, obviously all those jokes are around, you think Jared Leto probably knows that everyone's making fun of him right now. So then he does a video that he put on Twitter where, like, he's reading a script and then a person filming the camera is, like, trying to look at it and he's like, no, like, embarrassed. And then it, like, shows the script and then the front page of it says Morbius 2, it's Morbin time. Like the memes?
Yeah, the memes. And the news, yeah.
And it's like, I think that's kind of a funny joke, but unfortunately Jared Leto's doing it, so yeah. I cannot condone it. Yeah. And it does mean like, okay guys, let's go home.
Yeah.
Finish making fun of Morbius now.
It's
time for us to release a podcast.
The mum and dad are making jokes about it, so it's no longer cool.
We're on the fast fun slide down on the Google Trends search for
to be fair, if
we're like Line Rider, but it's on the box office results of Morbius, just going down at speed.
Yeah, we die a fiery death. But yeah,
just like in Line Rider. I always thought that was weird how whenever you fell off, your character got cast into hell.
Yeah, just like an F-Zero X death. Alright, do you have anything more for me?
Why doesn't Michael Morbius have his own home?
I regret asking now. You can't afford a mortgage?
Yeah, there you go. This isn't a joke, I just wrote down Barry Jenkins' Morb Light.
Don't bring Mahershala Ali back into this.
Why did we watch Morbius?
Get to the other side.
That's true. We had a morbid curiosity.
How many of these do you have?
No, that's it.
Is that...
That's it. I had one more, but like it didn't make any sense, so I'm not going to read it. It's just like me putting Morb into different zodiac signs.
I mean, like...
I think that was just me when I became like Jim Carrey in the number 23, writing Morb all over the walls.
The number
like,
Morb.
There's got to be a pun that the internet hasn't done yet.
You know, like, reading something and deciding it's stupid and not going to do it is something I wish Jared Leto had done before making this movie.
Okay, so I'm going to run through very quickly some Morbius fact, and then
we can go into the real meat of this.
Yeah, the real Morb of this.
That doesn't really make any sense.
God, I want to die. Okay, so we've gone through this before briefly when we talked about the trailer, but...
I don't want to live any Morb.
God. The director is Daniel Espinosa, who's kind of like this in-house Sony director who's just done a bunch of okay. And to be honest, I don't think the direction was like really bad in this.
I can't really...
I feel like it's mostly the script and the performances. Actually, no, the directing was bad. I guess he does have some say in the performances.
He didn't just like record it all happening in front of him, like fucking like watching the Twin Towers go down.
Yeah, but also like again, I feel like I can't blame this guy. It's like he became captain of the Titanic as it was hitting the iceberg.
Yeah, and he just was like powerless to stop anything from happening.
Yeah,
and I guess he didn't make it worse than it had to be.
The people who did make it worse than it had to be are the writers who also wrote Power Rangers, Dracula Untold, The Last Witch Hunter, and Gods of Egypt.
Yeah, like...
But don't worry, everyone. They'll be back writing the Madam Web movie.
Which we'll have to see. If I'm still alive.
If you're thinking, like, wait, why are they doing a Morbius movie? What are we, like, when a Madam Web movie comes out, like, are we going to, like, look at the bag again and be like, well, we've actually looked in the bag and there was a dead dove. And a Morbius.
Yeah.
And we're going to, like, put our hand in again and just hope that one of the things in it isn't dead.
That's a fool's errand if there ever was one, and we're going to do it anyway.
Okay, also, box office stuff, right?
Okay.
In early June, basically, they reissued this movie to theaters.
Because of sarcasm and...
Because of sarcasm in the internet, they were like, oh, Morbius is trending, it's Morbius sweep week, whatever, and let's put them out there.
It's more madness.
And once they did put it out in the US, they got the lowest per theater average in the top 20, which Forbes magazine described as, quote, a rare movie that essentially bombed twice.
Do they have like a spin-off called Morbs magazine?
The second weekend drop was at 73% domestic.
Jesus Christ.
Which is apparently the second worst box office drop in the superhero genre, between X-Men Dark Phoenix and Steel. Remember Steel?
Which way around is it, out of interest?
I think Steel did worse.
The world isn't fair. Killer Me would have made this 50 times better.
At the moment, as far as I'm aware, it has made 163 million from a 75 million budget. So that sounds like, because I know that in general you need to like tend to like more than double your budget in order to break even. But there was a lot of marketing and a lot of extra marketing because they did the reissue. So
this movie almost definitely lost money.
Yeah, and also 163 million compared to the kind of shit that like Venom was making.
It's the kind of shit that fucking Get Out made. 160 million is nothing.
Yeah, not for these movies, because I feel like there's definitely a thing, because they can't like not spend money on them. They always put more money than they need.
They fucking tried to not spend money on this fucking movie.
They get into a position where if you're not like getting like 700 million, you might as well have not, come out that day.
But at least come close, guys.
Yeah, it's the 87th highest earning superhero movie.
Out of what, like 90?
I don't know, but 87's pretty...
I don't think I've seen 87 superhero movies.
Unfortunately, I have definitely seen over 100. Because I made a list.
Superhero movies?
Uh-huh. I did a ranking list of superhero movies.
You might have done that.
It's really stupid though, because when you start getting into it, you're like, it's incredibly hard to rate some of these movies against each other.
Yeah.
But anyway.
You gave it a go.
And it's worth mentioning that every single movie on the list below it is from 2008 or before. And I think 2008, you think that's when
we got comic books, right?
That's when you got the Dark Knight and Iron Man, and that's when things like stepped up, and it's like you don't have to be X-Men or Spider-Man, you just have to be a superhero, and you'll make some money
and be competently made.
Yeah, so everything else on the list was competing in a very different field.
Yeah,
like the 160 million they got was just like from people being like, okay, Marvel, I like Jared Leto and that thing, sure, let's go in. And you should be getting a lot more than that.
But like, imagine trying to like bank a franchise where you have like nothing else but your star power of your main actor, and you work with Jared Leto. Because that's the thing. Like,
I also think this movie makes sense a few more years ago. Like, not makes sense. Sorry, it makes more sense. More sense. Because you have all those delays and everything, but there was a point, I feel like, when like Matt Smith coming off the back of Doctor Who was a good get to be something, and then it's just like he hasn't done a lot, but then the blockbusters he's been in have all been shit, as far as I remember, like Terminator, Genesis, or whatever.
And he saw like David Tennant getting that Marvel money. He's like, I can do that.
Yeah, he would have been a better choice for a TV show, probably.
Yeah.
Like a villain that gets more to do.
Do you think he was approached for Kilgrave and was like, "No, I want to be in a movie. Give it to that other fucking Doctor Who piece of shit. Fuck him.
I want to be in a Morbius."
Yeah.
So the disappointing reopening resulted in an average of just $82 per theater, which, depending on ticket prices, amounts to less than 10 people per theater on its re-release.
It's a little empty theaters.
Wow. Everyone who had been tweeting about Morbius then stayed at home to tweet about how Morbius was making no money again.
Yeah.
Imagine making a movie so bad people would prefer to be on Twitter.
They actively chose between watching a movie and being on Twitter.
Yeah.
And they chose Twitter. Yeah, that's not a surprise. I am Ozzy Morbius, King of Kings. Look upon my works and despair.
Look upon my work.
And despair. Anyway, what were you gonna say?
You go ahead with your thing now.
Okay, so
Stay alive. Wake up.
I'm okay. Let's just get into this. Right, so
do you want me to pour you a glass of whiskey?
No, alcohol can't save me from what I have to do next. But yeah, so basically, I've been on the road a lot in the last week or so, and I had a lot of free time. Mm-hmm. And for some reason, like, I started thinking about Morbius because I guess I was in a bad place or something. But anyway, I was thinking about Morbius, and it turned out I have a lot of questions about Morbius because.
Can I just ask one question? Do you think are you coming into this that you want to get all your Morbius out of your system?
Yes.
To never speak about it again?
Yes.
Because I think we've ended an episode before saying we're not going to talk about Morbius again. But I really want to say it this time. I actually really don't want to talk about Morbius after this.
I know this isn't meant to be recorded, but should definitely put this in the podcast.
No, I mean, we can say it again. Like,
okay.
I'll keep saying it, and I'll keep being a fucking liar. Apparently,
yeah. Okay, so
we'll be back for Morbius.
We're back for
Morbius 2, the Morbius. They'll reboot it immediately, like the Suicide Squad.
James Gunn will have to come in. We'll have like a fucking like weird needle drop Morbius. I was thinking about the movie, and the more I thought about it, the angrier it made me.
Made you angry?
Yeah, because the first thing to know about this movie is that like, not only is this like something that it kind of reads like somebody who's never like wrote a movie before. It kind of reads like somebody who's like never like watched a movie before. You know, the level of things are just happening, and we don't really know anything about the characters. And it got me thinking like just about all the different questions that it just like raised and didn't even like think about answering. But yeah, so this segment is called Questions I Have About Morbius.
Are these questions that you want me to answer?
Well, I have like questions and I have like discussion.
Roll me through your questions.
Okay, so question 1. Why does Morbius need this many bats in his lab? So, at the beginning of the film...
Looks cooler.
Morbius flying to some part of the world to find these bats, but, like, are they special bats?
Maybe they didn't want to repeat the bat thing from the
Batman.
No, the bat from the Morbius episode of Spider-Man the Animated Series, where there's just, like, one lone bat, and he's, like, trying to swat it when he gets bit.
That makes much more sense than what they do in this movie, because Okay, so
I didn't understand the start bit at all.
Yeah.
I had
it makes no sense.
It took me until like I was like halfway through the movie to be like, oh, he was collecting those bats?
He appears to be collecting them, but the thing is, I think they're just vampire bats.
I guess to get vampire bats, right, you probably got to go to a remote location.
No, you're a fucking world famous scientist. Call a zoo.
Oh, right, yeah.
Just phone them up.
Yeah, but
And
maybe
even if you don't need actual bats or whatever,
maybe he needs to do it illegally.
Why?
Because they're protected species, and you're not allowed to shove them in a tube.
If you're doing like fucking incredible like life-saving research, you should probably be like, yo, I got an idea for this, but I need vampire bat blood.
Yeah,
for some
he
reason.
kind of needs a guy, right? He doesn't need to go out and
He does not need to do this himself.
Is he like puts his blood on some wires?
Yeah, he kind of like draws them out with his blood, so it doesn't really make any sense. He holds his hand to this like,
and then they all
screen.
like fly into him,
Yeah.
and for some reason it like doesn't hurt him. And I thought like that's why when they got to that scene, I thought that was like a flash forward to later in the movie when he's morbed up.
This movie is like almost chronological.
You know what? I think part of the reason that they like cut out a lot of stuff is so that he gets morbed earlier on in the script.
So we
Because
get to enjoy it more.
I was surprised when he turned into Morbius, and I was like, "Oh, he's Morbius." We're like 20 minutes in.
It doesn't make any sense.
But yeah, it didn't make any sense to get there.
Yeah, because I mean, my thinking was he needs vampire bats to like vampire his blood or something. But like,
because he's got a blood disease.
Yeah.
Are we running through the plot, or
I'm basically going through the plot with these questions.
Okay, sure.
So he has to get. My impression is he has to get his bats back to his lab so he can take the vampire blood out of them and put them in his own blood. And
I just imagine him like a mad scientist with a sack full of bats over his
he
shoulder.
virtually has a fancy sack full of bats in this movie.
Dr. Morbius strikes again.
Yeah.
An actual fucking headline on the news in this fucking...
Dr. Morbius strikes again. It's
No,
unironically
my favorite one is when it says the what's it called, like the
vampire killer or something.
No, the thing at the bottom of like news reports.
The chevron.
Yeah, it says like Dr. Morbius strikes again. ... Copycat.
Yeah.
Dr. Morbius.
Anyway, so from my impression, he's taking these bats back to put his blood inside of him, but like, why not just take a DNA sample? Why does he need to take all these bats with him? There's no possible reason to take all these bats with him. And even like from the point of like, oh, it's gonna come back later in the movie. I'm like, that could have, and I don't think it comes back.
There might be a more humane way to keep them as well, rather
Absolutely
than
a more humane way.
perming them in a really tiny tube.
Yeah. It's like just unnecessary animal cruelty. I don't understand what it achieved. So yeah, that's my first question. And then chronologically, my second question is, number 2, what the fuck kind of orphanage is this? What is happening?
It's like a orphanage for terminally ill children who, when they go outside, they're bullied and beaten up by other kids.
Yeah, I don't understand, like...
There's a bully school
Did
next
someone
door.
pay for this? Does Morbius have, like, rich parents who sent him to this school? Or is he just, like, an orphan?
Do they mention his parents?
No, they don't mention it. They just don't mention his parents. They don't explain why he's there.
What?
The movie can't be fucked to explain that one...
And then Jared Harris, right, he's a doctor/teacher who disappears for the whole fucking movie and then comes out at the end like
Here's my noble death scene.
I don't even remember it now.
Matt Smith does some shit to him. We'll fucking get them. Anyway, this fucking school makes no sense. Is it a hospital? Is it an orphanage? Is it a school? Is it all three? Why is it next to like a regular school?
Mm-hmm.
How does any of this get funded? The first thing we see basically in the movie is like a kid basically dies and no one comes to help him.
Yeah. Well, Morbius has to help
Right,
him.
to save his own life. Because like he has to like put a spring in like a electrical equipment, which, by the way, don't do that at home. You will burn down your house. That's terrible electronic. You know, the fuse blows, which means...
Are you saying you're smarter than Morbius?
Yes. Unequivocally.
Yeah, I mean, he did some like science that I probably couldn't manage to turn himself into a monster, but he basically gave himself a disease. Like I could do that.
Yeah, he had
I could go out and roll in some rusty nails.
Yeah, he's like, he gave himself tetanus.
Yeah,
he fixed his disease with a more terminal disease.
Yeah, but it's not just one that's like hurts him though. It also hurts other people.
It's the worst of both worlds.
He just gave himself COVID.
Yeah. Okay, so
he came back with a worse COVID.
Yeah. And then everyone died, and he was like, where's my Oscar?
It's Morbid 19.
Yeah. That was actually kind of good, but I don't have any joy left in me. Question 3. What is Baby Morbius? What's his deal? What's Morbius's deal in this movie? The little baby Morbius.
Baby? Oh, the
child Morbius. I'm calling him Baby Morbius because I need some joy.
Yeah, so what is his deal?
Okay, so this kid is an orphan, but why is he gaslighting this other kid into calling him Milo?
Yeah, because he I think the idea there was other kids there in the same bed, and he called them all Milo.
But why?
Because he doesn't see them as humans, I think.
He sees them as one person called Milo.
I think it's like, I think part of the joke is that like a lot of kids run through that. Like, I don't know if that means
that's really funny. All these kids are dying.
Yeah, so it might be a joke about like, oh, these kids keep dying and I don't give a fuck. Like, that's my sense of humor. Or it's like,
this kid doesn't have a sense of humor.
Or it's like maybe no one likes Morbius and they were getting adopted.
I feel like the impression I got was that like he had one really good friend called Milo, and he's just been trying to replace him with these other kids. So he's been gaslighting them into saying their name is Milo.
It's one of those things I didn't expect to stick. Like, maybe Morbius is a bit of a jerk when he shows up. He's not even going to remember his name. And then, like... But then later on, they're, like, great friends. And then he's also like, oh, I do know your name, by the way. I just choose to call you this. This really heartwarming thing we have from a kid of me ignoring your fucking name to give you the name of someone else.
Some other asshole who we don't see.
Yeah.
There's no point in...
Which makes him look like
a... character Milo! Just call the character Milo.
I'm wondering... Yeah.
There's no fucking point to it.
I'm wondering if it's like a thing where, like, I think he might have... Like, his friend in the comics might have been called Milo. And then it's like... But then they didn't want to do that guy. So they were like, well, we want to do Matt Smith. And Matt Smith can't do, like, a Scandinavian accent or whatever the fuck.
I feel like Matt Smith could, but they told him not to because they were like, that doesn't make any sense. Unlike a script for Morbius, the movie. Okay, question 4. How rich is Morbius?
And where does that money come from? He, like, inherited wealth.
I'm assuming, yeah.
He has old bat money.
Yeah, he's
He comes from old Morby.
No.
Morny?
He's no. We'll think of something, but that's not it. You keep on brainstorming. But yeah, so the cartoon, the Spider-Man anime series, in that Morbius is like a poor student who comes from like another country where they're dying of the same disease and he's trying to cure it. But this Morbius appears to have cracked the pharmaceutical industry. They're notoriously open and easy to crack pharmaceutical industry. He made basically like the plot is he made an artificial blood that's like saving lives and shit. And this blood is fucking everywhere. This dude is rolling in cash.
I've just made a fucking amazing discovery.
I'm glad somebody did this fucking production.
Right. Remember how Morbius, back in the day, we talked about this because we've got we can throw in a plug here for our Patreon where we talked about all the Blade movies and Blade whatevers. And one of the things with that, remember when, before, like, I guess they cancelled... What
did they cancel?
I don't know. But the Blade movies, there was a point when they were going to have Morbius in them in a sequel, or they were setting up a Morbius movie or something. There was going to be some post-credit scene that implied Morbius, and then they didn't do it in the end. And
they realised, this is a terrible idea.
Also remember how in Blade Trinity, there's a small subplot where vampires are creating... They have like a blood farm.
Yeah.
And they're like experimenting with that kind of shit.
Yeah.
And there was apparently more about that. Was meant to be more of the plot, but then they ended up cutting it out. And I'm wondering if this is like a kind of continuation of that, of like, you know, they wanted to do an artificial blood thing and creating blood. Yeah. And then they're like, well, let's just throw it in here because it means that we have a way to have him be a vampire without having to hurt too many people.
Which, again, they didn't really follow up on. Imagine making a movie and being like, hold on, I got something from Blade Trinity we can use in this movie.
Well, I guess there was a point in this, right, where it's like, oh shit, he started attacking people, but then that was all shown to be Matt Smith.
Yeah. Or maybe... No, there's like the first people... Well, we'll get there.
Right.
We'll get there.
Back to your questions.
This movie doesn't really make sense if he's a rich person. It doesn't make any sense. Because, first of all, he doesn't need to fly to fucking the middle of nowhere to get these bats. He can pay people to do whatever the fuck he wants.
Yeah, he also doesn't have to be there because he...
He doesn't have to do anything.
Well, because he's also disabled. He's, like, in crutches this whole time, right?
He's incredibly disabled.
Which makes, like, you know, helicopter flights to the side of a mountain kind of, like, then it's not exactly accessible.
You have to be constantly landing to give him dialysis because he'll die otherwise.
Yeah, because he's got to have those appointments.
It
all
doesn't
the time.
make any fucking sense.
He's probably incredibly weak with his blood disease.
Yeah, but just pay someone else to do this. You have the money. Why are you big penny pinching? And like I read in here, like maybe he's the kind of personality that has to do things for himself, and that would be a cool thing to write in this movie if you were interested in writing any of it.
Right.
So yeah, trying to kill this by himself for some reason, if he doesn't have to do it. And it's been like, quite nicely into my next question, which is Morbius doing this all in secret?
It's unclear what level of secret it is, because there's implications at certain points that what he's doing is illegal. And then they do the boat thing, right? They go on a boat to get into international waters?
Yeah. Like, with all Spider-Man films, Michael Morbius is just a very bad scientist.
Yeah.
You know? And, I mean, this all kind of, like, becomes Morbius when he, like...
At least Kurt Connors, like, could grow, like, his limbs back as well as be a horrible monster.
Yeah. He doesn't seem to be able to do basic science. It's insane. So, yeah, the inciting incident of this whole movie that gets the plot rolling is that he injects himself with synthesized vampire bat blood because reasons, and it turns him into a PS2 ever video game boss, and or a pre-rendered clip from Across the Spider-Verse.
I can't believe I'm gonna say this. I didn't mind how he looked.
I mean, well,
when he was flying around and it does the trail thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like a pre-rendered clip from Across the Spider-Verse.
Oh right, yeah. I mean, it looked fine.
Yeah,
it wasn't really original, but like it
didn't.
I guess they gotta find a cool way for him to move around.
They gotta find a cool way to reuse that Venom goop.
And more reason to keep Jared Leto off the set.
Yeah.
He was trying to do the flying scenes himself.
Anyway, yeah. So like you said,
I don't think fucking like Jared Leto is like on set and he's like coming away from set and the crutches like dragging his legs behind him just to go home for the day, and then there's like an actual disabled person waiting for the elevator with him. And then he's like,
like the episode of Review where like he's like walking on his knees all around.
Yeah, and he's just like going like, should really make this place accessible for people like us, huh? And then that guy in a wheelchair's like, this motherfucker. Got to smile and nod at him because he's the star of the show.
It's a disability version of blackface.
Yeah,
it's insane, you know. And like you said, like
I'm surprised he didn't turn up on the red carpet, like dragging his legs behind him.
I'm actually still a vampire, you guys. Yeah. See me in cinemas. I mean, maybe like just the experience of being Joker broke him to the point where he's like, "I can only be in bullshit now," or something.
Speaking of that, I think that's still the worst thing he's done. I keep forgetting that. I keep forgetting that he's done. He's not as bad as he is in Joker because as
he has less screen time.
It's such a strong performance, like such an intense, shitty performance that it like rubs. If you don't like what he's doing as Joker, then he's rubbing your face in it, and it sucks so much. And believe me, like he came back for that fucking Snyder Cut, which I watched. I'd rather talk about Snyder Cut than Morbius, to be honest.
Again, it's suicide note.
But he's especially bad in one scene of the Snyder Cut, which is also. It's like it feels like the only real like super new material that they added, and
Jared Leto like was banging on Zack Snyder's door, man.
It's like the worst.
I gotta have more of a role in this movie.
Man, it just sucks.
Yeah,
so much.
Speaking of things that suck, Morbius. So, like you say, like he's just so the way he kind of becomes Morbius is, from my recollection, he just goes into a ship with these mercenaries, and I think they're like it's like a Deep Rising situation where like they've got an agreement, right? And he's like, I'm gonna perform this weird experiment.
You want to throw out Deep Rising situation like that's in common parlance, but it is a Deep Rising situation.
Well, basically, he's like
Deep Rising is a lot more entertaining in this movie.
There's a lot of things more entertaining in this movie. The end credits of Deep Rising are more entertaining in this movie. The poster for Deep Rising is more.
Yeah. The credits are better because Jared Leto isn't in that movie.
Nowhere near it.
You don't have to see his name.
But yeah, so let's talk about the fucking like inciting incident, because he's on this boat, and the idea, I guess, is like he's on this boat and there's mercenaries going somewhere, and he's like, "Hey guys, I'll give you like $400 or whatever, and I'm just gonna do this experiment in this back room because I tested it on one mouse and the mouse didn't immediately die, and I ran no further tests."
Right, but it did die.
It did die, and it came back to life.
Yeah,
and I just ran with it,
and he was like, "Seems like good science to me.
I guess it's time to move on to human trials." Again, I'm a rich scientist, but I have to do this myself for some reason.
He needs to go back to formula.
Yeah, there's a lot of because we don't ever see that mouse again, and a good script would have been like after the fact, been like, oh, this mouse is kind of fucked up. We don't see the mouse ever again. It's just like assumed to be fine. So yeah, he's doing this in the back room of a fucking mercenary ship. He brought one hot doctor with him in case things went wrong, and that it all implies that he's meant to keep this a secret. But I mean, like the thing with that is that what? So
is this all one question?
This is all part of one question, which is he doing this in secret? Because if you count that in mind, why does he have like this top secret lab just people are just walking into? How was Matt Smith able to just go like, oh shit, you got the Morbius formula here?
I don't think like that's. I think that's not, the secret lab stuff was the stuff on the boat.
Yeah, but like he's also got like, so if he's doing this all in secret, he's making research and that. Why can't you just walk into his lab?
I guess because in there he's just like doing legal stuff. He keeps the illegal stuff for the boat. Or is the
he's got a fucking tank full of bats in there.
Yeah, how did he get that on the boat?
Did he put it on the elevator?
I think he put him under his shirt.
No, the bat stayed home because they get their passports in time.
Yeah, he was like, "Well, I've already got your blood. I took the blood from one bat, and I was like, oh shit.
I got like 900 bats now that I don't know what to do with." So yeah, so he's kind of just like on this boat. He kills a ton of mercenaries, but he just goes back to like his lab where he's keeping like basically like the COVID-20 ready to go whenever he needs it. Because that's a fucking like accident waiting to happen. Is I got these bats from this other ecosystem just like hanging around in my lab.
Even just as a scientist introducing himself into the ecosystem. Oh no, what if I like destroy humanity?
He doesn't care. He's trying to at this point. And Matt Smith should not be able to walk or like use his crutches to stumble into this room slowly. There is no security for this top secret lab. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
You know? And he can just walk in and just like steal his formula for the Morbius thing. And well, that brings us on to my question 6 is what is the basis for Matt Smith's character becoming the bad guy of this movie?
He doesn't like having whatever illness he has. Yeah. And he's sick of not being able to run around.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I could run around and murder people. Sounds like a good trade for me.
Yeah. He kind of just goes into this lab.
He proper flips. He just flips.
It doesn't make any sense.
Again, I think they cut out
any like semblance of a motivation for this character.
Yeah. Also, kind of reminds me a bit of like an alternate, but still just as confusing version of the Harry Osborn motivation in The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Where there's the whole thing with you got the magic blood that will give me the thing, and him being like, I don't want to give you the blood, and then he takes the blood anyway, and then it makes him into the bad guy. But then neither of them have very good reasons for withholding and for giving or not explaining, you know?
At least I understand at least why Harry Osborn is taking the formula. There's no reason for Matt Smith to take this formula. He sees his friend Morbius in a cage, clearly acting like a vampire, and he's like, hey, you're fine, you're cool, you're clearly okay, you can walk. And he's like, no, he's literally got fangs, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
He has no questions at all. He doesn't know whether this is safe, he doesn't know what's happening.
But all that stuff might make sense if you had introduced him as a guy who was flirting with the dark side, who maybe was involved in some criminal stuff, or that he was a really impulsive personality. Like, you can have a character who's makes really bad decisions, but like there's something about like Morbius still wants to save him, that kind of thing. But he just like goes, I'm an asshole, I guess. Like, we're shown as a kid, like he gets in a fight with like a school child and like hits him with a crutch. Right.
I think that's meant to imply, oh, he's got like a dark side to him, but it's like, no, that's not how you introduce a character. It's the only thing we're given about.
Also, I mean, people live with disabilities. It's not like a curse tantamount to being a vampire. No. You know? Yeah. Like, the bad side of being a vampire is pretty damn bad, and I think like,
I have to kill people or I die.
Part of it feels kind of insulting to me to think that like, yeah, like any disabled person will take any chance to not be disabled where they have been all their life.
Yeah, I'd rather be a vampire than like have to use like a dialysis machine.
Yeah,
he doesn't even think about it.
As
soon as he sees Jared Leto, he's like, I have to do this.
I don't know what those. I'm sure there must be some deleted scenes that are just like at least some kind of tension with it. He just kind of does it because I guess there needs to be a Morbius for Morbius to fight.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if this guy's ever been in the comics, you know? Or, like, I think there was a friend character, but I think he just gets killed by Morbius when he transforms.
That'd be a much better way of...
Yeah, it's like a sad, tragic thing of, like, oh, I couldn't control myself. I had to kill
it would be
this
something
man.
in this movie.
And it's the same thing with the assistant, right? Like, she kind of likes Morbius a bit.
Is the idea is they met each other before? Because I couldn't tell if they met each other before.
I couldn't tell. I can tell you now. Like, it seems like she's an assistant, but then she's maybe been there for a while.
She's not stopping any of this.
Yeah, and she, like, maybe she's not comfortable with some of the illegal stuff, but then she's, like, kind of going with him, and then she ends up defending him, but I don't really know what she thinks other than that she likes Morbius. That's
the only thing we're given about this character.
Which makes her very unrelatable.
Yeah. It's just clearly not a human being like the rest of us. You know? So once he has the powers, though, he doesn't actually seem to want to do anything with them. Jared Leto keeps going about, like, I have to stop him, and it's like, stop him from doing what? He's having a good time.
Well, he was murdering people, right?
So was fucking Morbius.
No, but that was Matt Smith, like the person who, because someone dies in the hospital and he gets
that's Matt Smith for sure.
Yeah, that's Matt
Smith. But he killed like 6 mercenaries, and he's just like,
oh no, he did kill them.
He killed like 6 people.
You know what? This movie would have gone down a bit better for me if there was some like blood going on.
There's no blood in this movie. It's completely bloodless.
Some gore with the mole.
Yeah.
No. Yes. But like, there's like a throat slash in the scene, and then it's just like, but you know, you can't see any blood or wound or anything. It's just implied. I'm like, yeah, it feels weird to take this kind of story and defang it. You know, like it's the same thing with the Venom thing when you're like, okay, so he's like straight up eating a guy's head, but we're not gonna show it in a way that you're not even sure what happened, or we're going to try and forget that is a thing about the character because we can't have a kids movie where, like, you know, a guy's head's getting ripped off. And not to say that we need a
rated... They shouldn't be kids movies.
Well, they shouldn't, like, I don't even know if they need to be rated R, but they can't be, like,
PG-13.
this, like...
sanitized.
Yeah, because it's like, well,
pointless.
what if you had you had this horror movie thing in a superhero world, but none of the superheroes are there because no one will let us play with them? And we can't have any of the horror stuff, really. You know? The Spider-Man fighting Morbius in the comics, it was like, oh shit, it's like a science vampire. That's the concept. And now Spider-Man has to fight this guy who's like
villain.
A tragic origin, and he's maybe good deep down, but he's got to fight with these urges and stuff. Like, yeah, sure, whatever.
Yeah.
But then, like, you take Spider-Man out and you take anyone Morbius would fight out, and then you make him the hero, but then you take away all the blood stuff, and then you introduce fucking artificial blood, and then it's like, oh shit, we haven't got any fucking conflict in our movie. We just have a guy who was sick making himself sick in a different way.
In a more terminal way.
Yeah, and or maybe not, because he's immortal, maybe? We don't know if he is.
We'll get there.
And then fucking... we don't have any tension, so let's just make another Morbius. And why does he take the Morbius juice? Because fuck it.
There's reasons, yeah. And like...
Because Morbius is trending. It's Morbius sweep week, and everyone wants to be Morbius, even this guy.
Yeah. It's just like a bit of a momentum. It's just carrying on. You've had a few, okay? I deserve one. Don't groan at me. Yeah, and like once he starts there, he starts being like a vampire. All Morbius has to do is be like, okay, cool, that's fine, but here are the rules for being Morbius. But he doesn't do any of that. He's just like, I have to stop him. This is my best friend who has got the same disease as I have.
Well, it's because he's become a supervillain.
But like this,
like he's taken, like he hit 5 stars, you know.
But Morbius doesn't know that at the time.
No, but I'm saying like he's in the supervillain category now. He's been added to the villains wiki. Yeah. You know, he's bad guy now, so we have to go stop him because he's doing what I'm doing, but in a bad guy way.
Yeah, he's enjoying his powers too much or whatever. This character, who I haven't even been calling him by the right name for the last 30 years, even though he's my best friend apparently.
Yeah.
And the movie's kind of like, yeah, like he's evil now, but you also meant to care about him when he dies later on.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like
spoilers. The guy you don't know dies later on.
Yeah. So
It's probably the most spoilable movie because no one gives a fuck.
You kind of know what's going to happen as soon as you see the characters on the screen.
Yeah, and also
because there's like 6 of them.
Yeah,
this movie is like really light considering how big of a production, or not actually big it was. But there's basically like 6 speaking parts.
Yeah, and it's like very simple in terms of the story. Like when you think about it, at the end, it's like he does some shit, becomes Morbius, and then he's like, "Wow, being Morbius kind of sucks." And then his friend becomes Morbius, and then the two Morbiuses fight, and then
that's
the
the end
movie
of the
ends.
movie. Yeah, we've learned nothing. It's like a 1-act play.
Yeah, signifying nothing.
Question 7. So, are we playing to vampire rules or are we not?
Yeah, that was the wild thing, right? Because I feel like there's a joke in there where something happens, like light goes on him, and then she's like, "Oh no," and then he's like, "Oh, I don't go by that rule." There's something like that where there's a
I'm not actually a vampire.
Or crucifix, something like that is brought up, and he's like,
that's stupid.
Yeah, because I'm not a vampire. And then I feel like that happens, and then like later in the movie, he
resolves the plot using vampire rules.
What was that again?
So basically, there's 2 things that happen of implied vampire stuff that you know because of your experience with vampires as a moviegoer, but the movie doesn't tell you anything.
Yeah,
it doesn't explain why it's happening.
I think I like repressed these memories, which is probably why I was less angry about the movie. But what? So what was what are the vampire lore we got going in?
So the first thing is how he kills Matt Smith.
Okay, yeah.
He specifically goes like, in vampire lore, you have to kill a vampire by stabbing it through the heart, or whatever his fucking accent is.
Kind of sounds like Nicolas Cage.
I wish Nicolas Cage was in this movie. Anyway,
that would actually make it worth it.
Yeah,
it's kind of like this is kind of like watching like the first Ghost Rider movie. To be honest,
it's that
level of shitty. Like,
at least fucking even Mendes.
But then you've got Nicolas Cage, and at least Nicolas Cage like doing the meltdown he's
a good actor.
And when he's bad, he's
still watchable.
Yeah, whereas Jared Leto
is unwatchable even when he's good.
I'm really surprised by how bad he is still somehow. Because it's like part of me thinks like, well, one of these days he's just if you're just acting enough times, then maybe you're just gonna lock into being good. But like
he started with his luck. He was in Darren Aronofsky movie.
Well, he got by with some good directors, I think, and then
people wanting to work with him.
And then Dallas Buyers Club, I think he was like fine in that. Yeah, right.
Won an Oscar or whatever. And then
he started sending condoms to people.
Yeah, he did do that. So yeah, that's the first way he invokes vampire lore without explaining any of it. The second thing, which is the more infuriating thing for me, is when his like hot doctor like dies, and he like basically like he gets her to drink his blood.
She gets her to drink his blood, and then he bites her, which is like the
way
that
you convert
a vampire. Yeah,
but the movie doesn't do any sort of work to imply that this was even possible.
Yeah, and why would it need to require that specific thing? Because the reason for that law really is that as a reason why the vampires don't like spread really fast in fiction, because it's like they can just kill people and drink their blood, but if they want to sire them, they do an extra thing.
Yeah,
you know.
And you know this because you know vampire lore, but the movie doesn't explain this at all.
Even knowing vampire lore, I was confused because I was like, well, I thought we weren't doing this.
Because the movie tells you we're not doing this.
Right.
You know? Because Morbius is basically someone who's injected himself with vampire bat DNA. But that's not how fucking DNA works. If I injected myself with your blood, I wouldn't become like a half Henry, half Jack monster. Mm-hmm. That's not how fucking DNA works.
Right, yeah.
You know? And the only way that works is that like you think about it as like something like HIV, where it's like a bloodborne virus that you injected yourself with to make you.
To be honest, I'm sure I can't really remember the explanation for the serum.
Because there's not really one.
If they say, oh, I synthesized this serum using this blood, then they're like, well, whatever went into that process can be anything you can imagine.
Yeah.
So
they did like such a half-assed explanation about it.
Maybe it was plasma.
Yeah. Because, like, the implication is that vampire bats make him a vampire, which is, as you can hear, it's rock fuck stupid, right?
And what are the other lore things we got?
Those are the ones, like, I guess, like, he wears that hoodie because he's sensitive to light now, but I think he was already sensitive to light. But those are the first two.
And then how does Matt Smith die?
Because he takes, like, an anti-serum to the serum that he made. or
Right.
something, and he like uses it like a stake to his heart.
Oh, okay, but it's not. It doesn't.
It's not a piece of wood, because that would be like
No.
that would make too much sense. And he only has enough to, because he's like, I might as well kill myself after this. And I'm like, I wish you would.
Wait, so he made anti-serum
To kill Matt Smith.
but then he didn't use any on himself.
Like,
He
unfortunately, not.
only had enough for the
Two.
guy.
He only had two. And he's like, here's one for me in case I need it, because I don't want to be alive anymore.
Wait, so does he end the movie with a way to anti-morb himself?
I think it's like an actual like suicide thing. It's just got that on like the back burner. He has that
so
scene
it will kill you if you inject it.
Yeah.
It's not like making you human. It's just
He'll just kill you because that's what he injects Matt Smith with.
right. So he can kill himself at any time.
Yeah, and he chooses not to do it like a selfish bastard.
I mean, he should like at least like quarantine himself.
Nothing like that. Nothing like
Put
that.
himself in some kind of cell which he cannot get out of, and then have people running around the clock trying to figure out how to like stop it if he is going to stay alive.
He's got so much money.
Yeah, but I'm guessing Morbius 2, which is definitely coming out, will like start with him like on the town being Morbius.
More about town.
Yeah, and but yeah, he should probably kill himself.
I wish he would kill himself.
Oh no, we become internet commenters.
Well, it's about time. Yeah, so that's question 7. Question 8. Does Morbius's dick work? Prior to all this stuff, has Morbius ever had sex?
I think regardless, he has not. Regardless of any kind of context.
Yeah.
I don't know how his body works, but no.
He can barely walk without like 3 dialysis procedures a day.
Oh, I don't think anyone like is interested in Morbius because of his personality.
Yeah.
And he hangs out with bats all day.
Yeah. You know, like
sorry, I can't. I have to cancel our date. I'm going to a mountain to collect some bats.
I'll put it on Instagram and you could be really jealous.
Yeah, and then now he's on the news. Like, apparently he's out there striking again. He's become like he's the fucking Hamburglar out there. Like, he's not like a good look.
So when this doctor comes around, like later in the movie,
I mean, his blood, because he has his blood. He has his blood disease, right? What is the disease? It's not
really
a real.
explained.
It's not a real disease, right?
But I think the idea is that like he's got like screwy blood, and it doesn't work so much. He makes him weak and anemic, you know. And
I wonder if they gave him a real disease. That sounds unlikely.
that would be insulting to people with this disease. It's like the Borat to like this disease is Kazakhstan. If it was a real disease, that disease has no funding now.
I think they just say he's got a rare blood disorder, and that's all they say. So it can behave in whatever way we want. Maybe it makes him look really sick, but then in all the ways in which Jared Leto would want his character to be cool, it makes him cool.
So he can fuck.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay, question 2, like as part of question 8, what color is his cum? Because the only answer I can come up with is it's got to be blue, right? If he can come at all. Because like he can just like to a little like gasp of air. Just like
This is our first episode in a little while, but I think we're gonna have to like go on a longer hiatus after that question.
I've got more questions about his dick.
Have you got more questions about his semen?
Will it make you into a vampire?
No, it will.
Why not?
It's like what they called
If his blood can turn into a vampire, why can't his cum?
Xeno is like xenomorph blood.
It just like burns through you right away.
Yeah, it just like burns through like metal.
Yeah, but like from a serious point of view, like
from a serious point of
to
view.
bring it back, if his blood can infect people and turn them into vampires, why can't his semen?
Oh, because he has. You're saying it's like an actual.
It's gonna be like a virus. Is there any way this makes sense?
Okay, so yeah, he can't have sex. Yeah, he can't ethically have sex, which he'll probably do.
Yeah, he'll turn people into vampires
in the non-existent sequel.
Yeah, he'll have sex with this vampire lady because that's the only way that this makes sense.
Yeah, I guess he can have sex with a vampire.
Yeah,
or he can use contraception.
He's not going to use contraception. That's in his character. He's not going to use contraception. Canonically, he does not use contraception. It's like Batman, like, not doing cunnilingus. Always does not use contraception.
No, Batman does do cunnilingus.
No, remember that, like, Catwoman thing? It's like, they said, like, canonically, Batman does not go down.
Oh, wait, no, I'm thinking of Spider-Man, who does canonically go down.
Of course Spider-Man goes down.
Yeah,
he's a hero.
I've read multiple comics in which they have a reference to, which I'm like, that only really reads as Morbius, not Morbius, fuck's sake, Mary Jane implying that Peter goes down on her.
Because he's a good guy, he's a hero.
Morby Jane.
Yeah. So that concludes the questions I have about Morbius and his dick. Okay, question 9. What the fuck is happening in that final fight? Because the first thing you have to remember is Chekhov's bat, but it's not the same bats.
What, Chekhov's bat?
Yeah, because he gets the bats in the first scene of the movie, and it's like, these bats will come in later, but during this fight, they're just in, like, a lab, just, like, waiting to die.
Right. But that's not Chekhov's bat, right? Didn't he use them for the serum?
Well, he used some serum, but he just kept them around.
They're good, like, you know, decoration.
Yeah, but the movie keeps them
keeping with the vampire theme.
Yeah. But if you have, like, a jar of bats in the first act, they better come back in the third, and they don't.
Does he command the bats at any point?
He commands, like, random bats that have nothing to do with those bats.
Oh, okay, right.
They're just, like, unrelated bats.
Maybe you didn't have to go that far to get the bats if they were just hanging out in the neighborhood.
It was just regular-ass bats. You could just, like...
That is bizarre.
It doesn't make any fucking sense.
Those bats don't break out?
No, they're just in the tank. He just calls other bats.
So he has power over bats. He can control bats? He can, he's got the
Is it implying that vampire bats are, like, the king of the bats?
Oh, I think that is the general idea. I think they think that he is a big ass bat, and they're like, "Wow, I guess he's our leader now."
That's kind of cool. The movie doesn't, like, bother to explain that. Even in Batman Begins, they do something equally stupid. They go like, "Oh, this is the science thing that makes this make sense." But in, like, the context of the movie, it's just, "Oh, Morbius can command bats now."
Yeah, because superpowers.
Superpowers. Hey, bats, you want to come in on my horrors? You guys ever watch Dragon Ball? What? No, you don't have TV in your caves?
He does, like, Kamehameha wave. Yeah. Kamehameha wave? I can't remember.
It's like a Hadouken or something like that.
Like a Morbe.
A Morbiduken. That's how he beats Matt Smith.
Yeah, he just, like, shoots bats at him?
Yeah.
I remember at that point being like, that's something. They're doing something.
But I was like, throughout the movie, I'm like, where did these bats come from? Why are they doing this?
Because it's the end of the fight. It's kind of like, I feel like that always happens in, like, really disappointing superhero final fights is they set up a situation where it's like, how are they going to kill this person or how are they going to beat them? And then they go, well, they just have this other power because they're the hero.
Yeah.
You know, it's like the Wonder Woman. It's like, she has, like a crazy power where she can, like, launch an explosion from her bracelets and fuck everyone up because she's the chosen one or whatever. And it's like,
sure,
but that's not, like, linked to the character or, like,
at least Iron Man had the decency to understand the character enough to be like, oh, he's smarter than most people, and that's how he wins.
And also, like, you know, it was the Chekhov's arc reactor, I guess.
But yeah, the final fight makes zero sense.
I didn't hate it. I don't remember anything about it.
Beyond the Morbiduken.
And then he also, like, he's got some purple, right, in his costume so that when he flies around, it kind of, like, does a purple streak. So you're like, oh, that's kind of like the color imagery of the comics without being nearly as, like, maybe I would have appreciated if he was, like, doing the whole, like, bare chest with, like, the massive popped collar.
That would be something.
Yeah.
Do you know what I realized as you were saying that? Do you know how Matt Smith is just walking into, like, Morbius's lab?
Yeah.
If you think about it, like, what Morbius is doing what this movie Morbius is doing is, like, if you imagine, like, Arad is at Matt Smith and Morbius's lab is, like, Phil Lord and Chris Miller's, like, movie studio, they're going, like, can we borrow some effects from Spider-Verse for our movie? And just walk in while they're out at lunch or something and take them back for their own movie. See, we've got cool animation that we definitely didn't steal. So that's question number 9. And finally, let's get to the post-credit scene, because even the movie's own universe's rules, it doesn't make any sense.
I feel like I don't have much hatred for this movie.
This movie made me furious.
Because of it all being directed towards this.
Yeah, this
You know?
this was what was leading up to the whole way through.
Okay, so like as a brief description, right? Adrian Toomes,
In jail.
Michael Keaton,
Yeah.
he gets ported to jail in the Morbo verse
He's in jail in like the regular universe we know,
in the
and
MCU.
yeah, and then he gets ported over to like another different jail
Because he knows Peter Parker's identity and there's all the shit that happened in No Way Home. So he gets flipped over, but instead of getting ported back, like I guess Venom did when he went to MCU, everyone went back at the end when he did the spell, right?
Yeah, everyone would have gone back. So either this movie is like forgetting its own rules that it's set in the last movie that it did, or what's happening is what we're seeing is like a day after where Adrian Toomes has gone to.
He's got like a week with Morbius.
Yeah, he's gone to his
my week with Morbius. There you go. Like my week with Marilyn. There you go. There's a reference to a Eddie Redmayne movie.
Thanks. That's what was missing. So yeah, like even if, for example, in this other universe, he's also the Vulture, and he goes to other Adrian Toomes and is like, "Hey, can I borrow your evil Vulture costume?" And this multiplicity Michael Keaton goes, "Yeah, sure." He's a doofus one, I guess.
No, I guess he just like goes, finds a lab. Maybe he gets some money because he's a celebrity, because they let him out of jail because they're like, he just appeared in his thing and we have no reason to keep him.
Oh, what you're saying is like there's a news piece where this guy appeared in jail for no reason.
Yeah,
and he's going straight towards a lab and is stealing equipment to make an evil Vulture costume.
Maybe he's not stealing it because he goes on like, like does his interview, talks some shit on This Morning or Oprah, whatever.
Gets a fight with Piers Morgan.
Gets a book deal.
Cries in front of Oprah. Again, this is all in a week.
Yeah, does
before
all that,
he gets
does all that in a few
universe.
hours, enough time so that he can make use of his new rich celebrity status with no consequence in the Morbo universe.
I feel
and
like
he can
it's
do
like
all that, and then he uses all that, and he's like, okay, I get all this money, I'm going to make exactly the same costume, despite the fact that part of the reason for that costume looking that way in Homecoming
was just like cobbled together.
He was cobbled together because he's a vulture. They did the whole thing with the name, and he took all these alien tech and his own tech and put shit together, and then he made something to rob trucks and shit.
And in the world of this universe, he's done that on the week. He's a famous person who just escaped jail and has been exonerated. And the first thing he's doing is basically making himself a milkshake duck. Where he's like, hey, I'm going to go steal some shit.
But also, like, he's the whole fucking... obviously, he's a bad guy, right? But, like, as far as we saw from him in Homecoming, he had some kind of good intention in terms of protecting his family.
He's a tragic villain.
Yeah, and he is now in a place where he can potentially never see his family again, which is the only thing that mattered to him. And he's acting like he's like twirling his mustache, like, I can get this way, I can get out of jail and cause some havoc.
And it's like that character wouldn't have done that.
Yeah, and also like he chose to keep Peter's secret at the end of Homecoming, which ended up not fucking mattering, I guess. But
he just has this about
he's like someone who could be reformed, if anything. Like, I think when we did our Sinister Six things, we both thought he was gonna be the turn.
Yeah,
and
because that makes sense because he's already part turning.
Yeah,
but this movie just shows up and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna do some evil. I have very limited time. I don't care about my family at all."
And in that second one, he meets Morbius, right?
Okay, so question on that: how did they get in contact?
Did he see the headline that says "Dr. Morbius strikes again"? Goes, oh, this guy is a serial murderer, and I've just got out of jail in a different universe. I should hook up with that guy.
And even if that's the case, why does Morbius take that call?
Yeah.
Why the fuck would Morbius want to talk to this guy?
It's one of those scenes that literally only makes sense as a conversation that producers had.
Like, they just, like, said it in a meeting and, like, someone wrote it down.
Yeah.
And it came to making the news, they were like, let's just say what they said. Just put the minutes in.
And it's not even who these people are in the movies. It's the fact that in the comics they're based on, they are both enemies of Spider-Man, so they might have a reason to be on the same side at some point. But even a comic would have some kind of script that like wrote in why Morbius teams up with Vulture, because
so that's the thing, the comic has a basic respect for its readers.
Yeah, they're just like, I think part of it is they don't know yet what specifics,
so why
but they just want to imply that something happens, and I'm sure in the future they'll do their
Morb Squad 2024 or whatever it is. Because
I
mean, like even in the universe of this movie, what is happening does not make sense.
The Sony 6. The Insidious suckfest.
Avi Arad's fourth private jet.
I feel like maybe they'll they'll do some sort of team up in the future, and then they'll be like, "Oh yeah, we met once. I know who that is." But we won't talk about it because it didn't make any sense.
That's the other thing. Like,
but also,
there's no reason for Michael Keaton to know who Morbius is.
I'm not sure if there's a reason to keep Morbius around after this point as well. But considering, I don't think it's done nearly well enough to have a sequel.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if there's enough there that they would think, well, if we're doing a Sinister Six movie or we're doing a Venom 3, and there's a bunch of characters in there, maybe we could throw in Morbius to be one of the 20 people because we have him on contract anyway, and we could put Jared Leto's name on the poster. But I feel like Morbius is such a negative thing with it that even the people who didn't give a fuck are now looking over at the trash fire and thinking,
maybe I don't want that near me. Maybe I want to keep that far away from me, my soiled, oily rags.
They make Michael Keaton do it as well, and it's that guy didn't know he had to be in a fucking Morbius
That
poster.
man had dignity.
And he signed up, he was like, yeah, I'll be in the... Oh, this is a really interesting sounding villain in... this new Spider-Man in the MCU. I could do a few of those.
They sort of want that movie, and that was a good idea, but then they're like, oh yeah, you have to be in these other movies.
Yeah, we're going to port you to another universe where you have to hang out with Jared Leto for no fucking reason.
You also know who he is for some reason, because you don't, because you never met him, because he wasn't in your universe. Again, you have new questions about your family, or about how you transported dimensions. Your first thought is, I'm going to go and Vulture.
I had better story justifications when I would make my toys fight. As a kid, you'd have to make the best of a bad situation because you unless you're a rich kid, I couldn't have every single toy I wanted.
Yeah, so
if I want to do a Sinister Six, I don't have the Sinister Six there, so I'm gonna be like, oh, actually, the Hulk was mind controlled and he's the sixth one, or some shit like that.
Like an 8-year-old boy can
run his band. Or I have a Power Rangers guy, but I'll just pretend he's a henchman employed by Oscorp. Yeah. Some shit like that. Rather than just I don't have these two toys come up to him and they go, "Hello, my name is Morbius. Hello, my name is Vulture. Do you want to do things? Okay."
Yeah. We're gonna fight, but we're gonna fight this other toy that we can't afford yet, but we're gonna do it though. The only reason we'd have a fight is we're part of a set.
You know what? I think this has the energy of dropping two fucking video game assets into the same mod and just having them T-pose next to each other whilst their mouth goes up and down going, "Hello, Morbius. I am Michael Keaton."
It's like a human centipede with a middle person. It's why are you guys here? You're just on all fours, a slight distance away from each other.
What the fuck are you talking about?
So it's like having
if you take a human centipede and you remove the middle part, that's just a person shitting on the floor and another person watching.
Well,
Michael Keaton watching Jared Leto shit on the floor. Yeah. Okay, I guess so.
There's no reason for them to be together.
Yeah, but then that implies that the thing we want to happen is well, I guess that's true because a functional human centipede in this case would be Michael Keaton having a good reason to be there, but then it's still Vulture hanging out with Morbius, which
there's a middle person that knits it together.
Yeah, and who
that makes the Super Centipede work.
Tom Hardy.
It would be Spider-Man in a perfect universe,
right?
But it's not.
Yeah, but I don't like the idea of a human centipede being the perfect universe.
It's the metaphor that we deserve.
I think we deserve better than Morbius. Especially this post-credits cutscene, by the way. Cutscene, whatever the fuck.
It might as well be a fucking cutscene.
Yeah, I mean, the first part of it with Michael Keaton being let out, that's bad, but at least it's Michael Keaton kind of a bit swagger being this is what this new universe is about, and it's okay, I can kind of
I just traveled dimensions. I have no questions whatsoever.
I can watch it. If I forget every single piece of context for this, and I'm just watching.
I was in jail for years.
If I just see a regular ass Michael Keaton getting lost highwayed out of his situation, I want to be I can watch it. I can not want to gouge my eyes out. But then when we get to the second one, and it's those two talking, it's the most cynical fucking garbage I've seen in any of these movies in so long. Mm-hmm. It's the worst post-credit scene in any movie, surely. I can't think of a worse one.
The one that's probably worse is the one after the first Venom movie. The second one where it's just here's Into the Spider-Verse as an apology.
Yeah, and it's a really long... It's long enough to be like,
It's an actual
wait,
scene, full
like,
scene for a movie.
I kind of didn't like it because I was like, I'm gonna watch this movie anyway. I'm just getting it spoiled now. But no, but again, there's also like, it's kind of dumb that they just like lumped it in there, but like it was good filmmaking because it was Spider-Verse.
It was like, here's a different movie you could have watched instead.
Yeah.
Even like the one from No Way Home, which was just like the last credit scene was just, here's a trailer for Doctor Strange.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
That has been terrible, but yeah,
but like
this one is this one is definitely the worst. Even like the Woody Harrelson one at the end of Venom wasn't.
Yeah, well, that was like more memeable and it was funny, and
but this
like,
is just like
you also get the thing of like, whoa, Woody Harrelson's an insane get, even if he is wearing that wig.
Yeah,
but like,
I miss the days when I was like mad about an ant playing drums. How much I'd give for an ant to be playing drums at the end of this movie.
Yeah, but you're still fucking wrong about that. Ants playing the drums.
It's so stupid.
I'm still mad at you about that. Oh, we didn't even talk about Tyrese Gibson.
I didn't think there's anything to talk about.
He's
atrocious.
Well, I think he is sedated.
I think he just got a phone call before shooting that he lost custody of his daughter. And he doesn't continue on.
He's definitely like being like, hey, I'm Tyrese Gibson. I'm not always the joke guy.
I'm a serious actor.
I'm a serious actor in this one, and it's just very boring.
And he has like Jared Leto to act off of, and it's like, just look better than Jared Leto, and he can't do it. He can't fucking do it. He makes fucking Ludacris look like fucking Denzel Washington. And it's like, and he has like his whatever partner who's like, I don't know what of his fucking partner's doing. Where he's like, I'm kind of the comic relief, but I'm not very clever at all.
He has a line. He has a couple. I don't think that guy's meant to be comic relief. I just think he has loads of really bad lines. That are kind of funny. Yeah. Like there is a line that he says that, what was it? I wrote it down somewhere. Oh yeah, because they're asking Morbius like, oh, some stuff went down last night. Like, you're part of it, asking questions, and then that guy goes, crazy experiments on a boat, maybe. And it reads like a joke, but it's like boat,
maybe.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, he's way more watchable than whatever Tyrese is doing in this movie. Like, there was no point in Tyrese Gibson being in this movie. Like,
yeah, I guess he's.
What even is the point of the character in that movie? What does he do?
He's just representing that the law are after him for this stuff, I guess.
But they didn't even resolve it. They're just like, oh shit, I guess he flew away.
There's no real reason for Morbius to not be like, to get help, because it's like, well,
again, he's the richest man in the world. He doesn't have to deal with any of these problems.
Yeah, but how rich is he? Like
he invented a new kind of blood.
But
he's like Bill Gates rich.
But did he? How widespread is the artificial blood use? Is he just keeping it for himself?
I think the implication is that he's like saving the world.
Because he's running out.
He's got his own supply. But like, they're giving him an award because they're like, yeah, you saved the fucking world because you gave everyone like fresh blood. You made blood accessible to everybody.
That's good.
He's far too rich for any of this shit to make sense. So yeah, Tyrese Gibson he's maybe in this movie. I can't confirm or deny that Tyrese Gibson is in this movie. Like, at the end of the movie, you see him, like, look at Morbius fly out of the fucking, like, sewers, and he's just like, I guess the movie's over. Let me go back to Fast and Furious, where I can really show my talents as an actor.
You know, when we talked about the trailer for this, we said that we weren't going to talk about Morbius unless someone paid us to do it.
Yeah, I can say that.
So, I mean, now you guys know that we have no conviction and no shame. You should probably...
You should petition us to be in Morbius too.
Yeah, I'll be in Morbius too, fuck it.
We have no conviction or shame, so it was the perfect casting.
Yeah, next episode is sponsored by Morbius too.
We can replace Tyrese. I can replace Tyrese as the detective, and you can be the other detective. You can practice your dealing as on a boat much. Whatever the fuck it was.
Speaking of shameless promotion, head over to our Patreon and get some free shit.
Please donate to this.
Make it worth it.
Please make this worth it.
A little $1 in the tip jar for watching Morbius.
I'll sell for like a fucking dime in the tip jar.
I have been panhandling lately. I've been going around the streets with a little sign that says I watched Morbius, and people keep giving me money.
Yeah. You've already made 10% of this movie's budget.
All that's going to my therapist anyway, you know.
Those concludes my questions about Morbius. And yeah. I kind of came out of this movie, like, we were watching it, I felt, like, depressed for a lot of this movie. And, like, afterwards you'd be like, do you want to talk about Morbius? And I'd have this feeling of, like, no, I don't really want to do it at all. I have no desire to talk about this movie. And it's only when I started writing that notes that I realized how angry a lot of it made me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and yeah, I think about like if someone asked me like, should I watch Morbius? And someone asked me, do you want to watch Morbius again? My honest, genuine answer is I'd rather be Jared Leto's characters in any of his movies. I would rather be addicted to heroin. I would rather be dying of AIDS.
Come on.
I would rather be the Joker in the Suicide Squad. I'd rather be in a helicopter crash. That's how much I hate this movie. It's maybe the worst movie I've ever seen.
Can I take my Morb hat off and put on my producer hat?
Okay, Mr. Arad.
Yeah, I'll put on my Avi Arad baseball cap and make a not prediction. I don't think this is gonna happen, but I think if I'm putting on my producer hat and I'm like, how would you like contain this? Because it feels like
how would you solve the Morbius problem?
Yeah, because it's not just about like stopping the bad things from happening, because they've set too much in motion now. It's just about like quarantining the effect of the Morbius virus. And I think what you do, right, if they're going along the tracks and they're doing this Sinister Six thing with Venom, Morbius, Vulture, and then presumably 3 other people.
Craven's going
Craven, and then like maybe they're doing that fucking El Muerto movie.
What the fuck are you talking about?
There's like it's because you haven't been on Twitter. They announced like an El Muerto movie, which I read.
Fuck is El Muerto?
He's like a wrestler. Who wears like a luchador mask.
Okay.
But then he's got like it's like a generational thing of handing down the El Muerto identity.
Like Russell Madness.
Yeah, it's like Russell Madness.
Yeah. A movie you should definitely watch instead of this movie.
Yeah, everyone go Google that and then be like, oh, those two watched that? Gross.
Yeah, we watched Morbius as well.
Yeah, it's grosser.
I'd much rather watch Russell Madness again.
Yeah. Wait, what was I talking about before? You just said Russell Madness. Oh yeah, El Muerto. So I guess he can be number 5. He's like I think he's got superpowers. Yeah. Anyway, he's a wrestler, and then the 6th one can be.
Well, that's a Scorpion knocking around in this universe they're just not going to use, I guess.
Well, he's in the MCU, right? Yeah. And he doesn't know who Peter Parker is, so he can't pull.
Care.
So I feel like they need to introduce one more, which maybe will be fucking Silver Sable or something.
Silver Sable
to make a Sinister Six that makes no fucking sense.
Who will they fight though?
Well, okay, this is where I was putting my producer hat on, right?
Are they going to fight Morbius?
No, I think what you do, right, like, if you're like, okay, I've got this shitty Sinister Six, and we can't really have him fight Tom Holland's Spider-Man, we can't really justify Sinister Six without Spider-Man, which Spider-Man do you turn to?
Oh, don't bring Andrew Garfield back into this.
Exactly.
The man suffered enough.
I know, that's why I had to put my producer hat on to do this, because the producer hat also, like, subdues like the
part of your brain associated with empathy.
Exactly.
Amplifies the listener part of your brain.
Yeah, exactly. It plugs in, and you become like fucking Mojo in the X-Men cartoon, and you just.
That's a reference for nobody.
Yeah, fucking insane.
No one knows what the fuck you're talking about.
You can Google that too.
I reference Muscle Madness, and you find a worse reference.
If you look at Mojo and you see what that guy looks like, you'd be like, "That's the guy who greenlit Russell Madness and Morbius."
Yeah.
But anyway, it would make the most sense because, like, if you're gonna like,
what if they got like a Doctor Strange villain? You know, what if they got like Baron Morbo in this movie? Or Don Morbo. Don Morbo, I've come to bargain. Sorry, continue.
Well, yeah, making them fight Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, but specifically making retroactively.
Andrew Garfield will refuse to be in that movie.
That's the thing. I think he would, if he's got any sense, he would refuse that. Also, like, I feel like it would be worse than seeing Michael Keaton in it. Really, just like dragging Andrew Garfield back to do one more of the worst shit in the world when he deserved a good Spider-Man movie. I think
he got his like win. You know,
yeah,
he got his redemption.
Yeah. He did some good Spider-Man stuff in No Way Home.
Well, he could uncut gems it and just be like just addicted to the power.
Yeah, and I just at least that's the only universe I think this makes sense in. Just because if you're thinking about like Keaton getting switched over to a universe, it would make sense that he switched with one of the universes that Spider-Man villains were coming from, at least.
Yeah.
Also,
Like,
like,
if it's in Morbius's universe. It's
also
the
like
same.
if you think about what happened in the Amazing Spider-Man universe, just like there was a couple of like douchebags doing some stuff in New York, and in like San Francisco there was a gloop monster. While like
Yeah.
maybe that's happening while Andrew Garfield's like listening to Coldplay and doing kickflips.
Yeah. And I guess that would open up like the possibility of like a Rhino at some point.
But I also think that the reason as this is the producer cap, right, is that I feel like after No Way Home,
There was no way they're gonna like not take advantage of this.
the easiest, if you're thinking about a cinematic universe as a way to make more money, right, and a multiversal cinematic universe is the next step level of that, because then you can have an Amazing Spider-Man 3 or whatever you call it that is running parallel to these other Spider-Man things and just have even more Spider-Man. And I think doing that in a way that doesn't like make the audience run away is the thread that they're trying to do, you know? And I think it depends on how much they expect of audiences to put up with. But at this point, they tried really fucking hard to get a Venom and a Morbius movie, and they were both terrible ideas, and they are both terrible. But like, you know, there's some stuff going on in Venom that I enjoy.
There's nothing going on in this movie.
It's all trash, but like some of it, you know,
I don't get how people
edible.
enjoy the level of trash. I found it unenjoyable on every level.
No, this is like a nothing movie. No one has to watch it. You can just watch other people suffer watching it. There's nothing you're gonna like learn by watching it and be like, oh shit, I didn't realize this insane scene happens. You just be like, oh, it's just what I expected. It's
less than that.
It's a dead Jared Leto in a bag.
Yeah.
But well, no, I guess an alive Jared Leto.
I love Jared Leto, who I wish was dead.
Yeah.
He wanted to be dead in the movie.
No, I think he was having a great time. I think he was like on set being like he was getting
His
the
character
cast
is
to
actually
chant.
suicidal.
Yeah, but that's just part of the craft, you know.
Do you have anything more to say about Morbius? Because I'm about ready to blow my brains out.
This podcast might be longer than Morbius.
It actually is right now.
Yeah.
I actually have like a lot of editing to do.
Oh, I probably do.
That was Morbius, ladies and gentlemen. Please stop asking us to talk about this movie.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, like, please support us on Patreon. Please keep listening. Keep on, like, listening to that 90s Spider-Man show. We promise we'll be in better spirits at some point in the future because we'll have to watch Morbius again. You know, think of it as pre-Morbius and post-Morbius in terms of the podcast arc. But yeah, from myself and Jack, that's been that 90s Spider-Man show. Any last words, Jack?
I'm all morbed out. We will never speak about him again.
This is the last time we're talking about Morbius ever. Do not ask us. I am like 99% serious. But see you next time we'll talk about Morbius some more. Bye, everybody. Go about your lives.
I'm going to go on a Morbius detox.
There's so much to live for, everybody. And you could be doing anything but watching Morbius, so go do those things.